What's up, Blue Chips? One trade today on LSCC. Let's get to it. There we go. All right, we're going to start this. So we were kind of risking off this area, but now since we're right at it, I feel comfortable kind of using the same shares because if we get that pullback, all right, hold on one sec. What did we get? We got 2160. Dang, look at that drop immediately. The spread on this is crazy. Not a huge fan of the spread here. That was like a 40-cent spread. So the net, honestly, might be in a little bit of a pickle here if it wants to like super run, because oh no, there it goes again. This thing is crazy. We're gonna put an order out at 21.11 just in case it wants to get down there, like for some silly reason. This thing is whippy because of the spread. We'll be looking for an ad up through 22 somewhere. And this thing is spready. It was not this spready when we got in, but it's kind of getting a little crazy here. It's kind of hard to even get any kind of ad if I wanted to. There we go. It's coming down a little bit as far as the spread. Like, part of me doesn't even want to add to this just because of that. Like, I don't want to be involved in something that can just whipsaw and have a 40-cent spread like that. That's a little scary. Might just be happy if we can get the drop down there towards 21, even with just the starter size. Sometimes, guys, once you get, again, like if you have a great starting hand in poker, I always use poker as an analogy, and you see the flop, that could completely change your hand, right? So we paid the ante, you know, we got in, we saw the flop, and now we're seeing all kinds of crazy stuff on the flop. So it doesn't mean we have to continue to add money to the pot. And it also doesn't mean that we still have a bad hand, right? We just have to possibly try to get to showdown without adding any additional risk, right? That's kind of where I'm at right now. So if we can get that drop down to 21.11 real quick, then I'm happy. We checked it down and we won the minimum per se. So here it comes. It's coming down. And there we go. And we got filled. So I'm going to be pretty happy to make $12.25 on 25 shares. I am not going to complain about that. All right, traders, that was my trade on LSCC. Really nothing too special about this one. It popped up. It was on the scanner. It actually ended up on the tracker. If you watched me live this morning, you know that I had a little issue with the scanners, but this technically was right off the scanner. We pulled it up. We looked over at the daily. There was some pretty key resistance at this 21.59 area. So we drew our line right off the daily, and sure enough, it popped through there. We were nice and patient waiting for it. We took our entry position from the 112, and obviously, we would have wanted to scale into this, but it decided to quit. We were looking to see if it wanted to continue up through 22. It did not, and it just got really spready. The spread on this stock became pretty bad, as you saw in the live trade, and unfortunately, it kind of kept us away from getting to our full size, so I'm not going to be too unhappy about it. I made this reference in the live stream. If you are a poker player, assume that you started a hand with pocket aces. You raise pre-flop, you get to the flop, you get one caller, call them LSCC. The flop comes something crazy that does not make your aces look good anymore. Say it's like queen, queen, 10 or something. So now there's possible straight draws, just a single queen in their hand, which is very possible if they called you pre-flop. There's a lot of hands that could possibly be beating you now. So when that happens, what are you going to do in poker? Some people will just donk off the rest of their chips and blow up their account, aka just, continuing to bet. Or you can slow down, right? You can not add any more money to the pot. You can try to get to the showdown with the least amount of money put into the pot as possible. And so when I see a spread like 40 cents and it's not giving me an opportunity to get more size into the trade, that's kind of me saying, hey, that wasn't a very good flop. Even though we had a good entry, it wasn't the greatest flop. So we're just going to kind of try to check it down, get to that river, check it down, try to, get the showdown. So that was what we did. We put an order out there at this previous resistance that was set in the post-market yesterday and the pre-market today. And it worked, right? So our aces ended up holding. Our opponent had king jack. He just happened to have a straight draw right off the flop, and hey, we ended up taking down the pot. So that's really all I have for you. Hopefully that was a good analogy for most. If you don't play poker, I'm sorry. But basically what I was saying is, you know, just because you get into the trade doesn't mean you have to follow your plan 100%. If the stock does something you don't want it to do, it doesn't mean you have to throw all your money at it like you normally would on a stock that's doing exactly what you want it to do, right? So that's all I was getting at. But if you have any additional questions or comments, want me to kind of explain it a little bit better, feel free to jump in the Discord and ask there. You can leave a question down below. If you have any comments as well, leave those down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.